Hi, I'm Raquel, and this is Law Librarian Plans. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're coming back, welcome back. Today, I am going to be decorating my fitness spread using the Muted Bloom sticker book by Love Posh and some boxes and dating elements from Mojo Jojo Plans. Let's get started. So my spread this week is not going to be a fitness theme, but rather a decorative, just kind of a floral thing going on. So from time to time, I take a little break from the fitness stickers and decide to use something else. And I haven't used this book in a while, and I thought it would be a nice thing to bring back. And we're in fall, so I wanted to use something. Those dark ones are a little bit hard, but this is really very pretty. And I thought, okay, well, it's kind of a spring color kind of thing, but at the same time, the fact that it's truly a muted, color scheme kind of spoke to me. So that's what we're going to do today. And the way I use this planner, for those of you who are new, top row is purely decorative, middle row is functional. I keep some statistics here, some health numbers that are important to me. This second long box is going to be truly for the food log. And then the last box is for me to write one win that I had having to do with my health for the day. So right now I'm in my not actively working out a lot era. I try to get some movement every day and some good wins, whether it's my nutrition, whether it's I drank all my water, whether I slept really well, that sort of thing. On the left column, I put my goals for the week for movement, etc. Some decoration or quote, and then my check-in box where I kind of sum up how it went for the week. So with that in mind, let's get started and let's see how quickly we can decorate the top so that we can get to the functional piece of this. So we're also going to decoratively date this. This is for the week of October 6th. As you can see, this starts with the 7th, and that's because this is a sticker book for last year that I managed to pick up on Mercari at some point. So this was when Happy Planner had said, oh, we're not bringing back the fitness planner. And guess what? They're bringing it back for 2026. So hooray. I am not probably going to buy it. I haven't decided yet. I'm still in the wait around and see stage. But anyway, I thought it was pretty funny. The other thing is apparently, if I understood correctly, the horizontal once again does not have check boxes. So I'm kind of thrilled about that because that's what I use for journaling, and I didn't love the idea that all of a sudden it had these boxes. I am toying with the idea of putting this across the page, and I think I will. So I'm going to line up my punches as best as I can, and then I'm going to put this across the page like so. I don't always do this, not my favorite thing to do, but every once in a while it hits me and I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's try it again. All right, and then I have another one of this kind of sticker, but it's really very long. So either I trim it or I use it as is. And oh, you know what? It's not actually going to go on the super functional piece. Let me just double verify that. But I think it's going to be okay. No, it still takes too much space, even if I put it lined up for this. So what I can do is, and I am super scared to do this because I don't usually do this freehand, but I'm going to try. I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to try to trim from the longest edge. And I trimmed once, and then if I line it up here, I think I can do what I want to do, but we'll see. Yeah, kind of, sort of. I'm taking my chance. I'm just going to do it. And what I'm going to do is I'll just line up things a little bit different on this one box, which has to have functional stuff in there. All right. I really like those flowers. They're so pretty. All right. So now we've done that. Now I've done it. I'm going to use some more of these bigger flowers and try to get them into the box. Now we're getting to the point where things are starting to overlap. So we're going to have to trim some of the white space along the edges of the stickers to make sure that they actually fit in the boxes. So I'm going to try to do that as quickly as I can. You're not seeing it. I'm doing it off screen where I have better, I can see it better. And also where I have a little bit better command of the scissors. If I stretch out my arms, I'm not going to be able to fussy cut quite as easily because I'm going to be trying to mind my fingers and not cut them off. So bear with me while I cut off camera, and we're going to make this work. I'm going to make all these stickers work, or most of these stickers work anyway. All right, taking off some of that white so that we just have the beautiful color sticker to look at and not overlapping with other stickers. Okay, almost there, folks. I have a small pair of scissors with a rounded tip that I can maneuver a little bit better. I have so many pairs of scissors in this room. I can't even I kid you not. Mostly because I tend to lose some. So I over commit. All right, and you know what? I just decided I'm going to put it on this side. All that work for nothing. No, actually, all that work for something. All right, I like it there. So next, we're going to grab, there's a purple flower over here that I'm going to grab and try to place over here. And it's probably going to need to be trimmed too. Let's see this one. Let's see if this is a little bit faster. Probably not. It actually, um, because the leaves are so small, I can't fussy cut quite as easily around them. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to take out big chunks of white paper instead of fussy cutting around every single leaf. So let's see if we can get to that point rather quickly. It makes a big difference. I actually don't mind the extra paper. I like having the choice of keeping it or not keeping it. So I've kept it on the bigger stickers, and with the smaller stickers, I can take it off. If I'm going to have white paper, yeah. And that it's, cut with ample space for me to maneuver to cut if I do need to cut. Okay. All right, so I cut another big ribbon of white paper, and now this flower fits nicely in here without really overlapping with the other flowers. All right, and then we still have a sprinkling of smaller flowers. That's why I want to make sure that I kind of fit everything. I have this gorgeous purple one that I really don't have room for, so this might become a decorative element in the middle here, as I was saying. And then this one, we may have to cut some flowers. That's okay. We can cut them. We don't have to use them whole. We can cut them. It's okay. They don't have feelings. Okay. So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take this piece here like so. And line it up on the top. Okay. And guess what? This little piece here kind of fits over here. It does overlap with this, but what we'll do is we'll lift this, overlap that on the white. Okay, there we go. And then what else do we have? We have this small cluster. Sorry, you're not seeing what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh, we have the small cluster. We have this. We have the small cluster over here, which I think would be good here. Again, we're going to have to trim. So I'm going to start, this one I'm going to do close by so you can see what I'm talking about. This one's it's a pretty easy one. So here, and you know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to show you. I'm just not being particularly, I'm fussy cutting, but not very fussy about fussy cutting at this point. I just want to take off a lot of paper so I have enough room for my sticker without killing the other stickers around it. This one, big pieces that are round and easy to cut. I love it when it's easy to cut. It makes my life much easier. All right, and then again, not fussy cutting around on those tiny leaves. We're fussy cutting around the whole cluster as quickly as I can. And then another round one, another spiky end. Oops, almost killed the sticker there. Oh. All right, and then one more spiky end before another roundish kind of cut. So see, pretty quick. And this one, I want it like so, because I don't want to put purple sticker next to purple sticker. All right, so I'm going to have to cut a little bit off the top. Okay. I just cut off a little bit off the top there. Okay, so we're filling in the box basically is what I'm trying to do here. Next, I am going to save that because I think it's big enough to occupy some good space on the sidebar. This one has a flat edge. So I'm going to take advantage of that and say, you know what? I'm using the flat edge and not fussy cutting around it. I'm just sticking it right here where it fits. But guess what? I do need to fussy cut a little bit because otherwise the top is overlapping with the cluster that's above it. So let me see if I can fussy cut enough, or if not, I will cut off more from the bottom to make it flat, to keep it flat, but not overlap with that other sticker. Okay, I just took off a big chunk of white paper. Let's see. And look at that, very little by way of overlap, a little bit on the right side. So I'm going to take off some of that white paper on the right side too. That's one of the things I love about this craft is that the materials actually are forgiving, so you can actually adapt them fairly quickly. It's not like you have to go get a drill or some other kind of instrument, you know, fancier instrument or, you know, bigger instrument to make things work. You just have to be willing to pick up a pair of scissors and cut away, cut away, cut away. All right, so that's overlapping a little bit, but that's okay. We're gonna let it sit. So a little bit of an empty room here. We have a little bit of empty room here, and we have some little flowers. I don't think this very large pink bloom right here is gonna fit. So I'm gonna use some of these little flowers, and I ended up with purple and purple, which is exactly what I didn't want. Oh well. We're gonna grab this pretty little daisy-like thing, and we're gonna stick it right there just to have color. And now it's really bugging me. Wow. I don't know why. It's like one of those reactions like you're like, that's not what I want to see. So I'm going to remove this and place it like that. And look at that. It actually works. And I don't have all the purple next to each other. It's not bugging me as much. And then I think I can stick this other little purple flower here if I fussy cut around it, or here actually is where I need it because I have a lot of empty room. So for this one, because it has a round edge around it, I'm just going to try to follow the round edge and just get as close as I can to the petals without cutting them off. Instead of, again, fussy cutting around every single petal, which can be done, but it wouldn't be great. So see, and now this one, which I placed very solidly, I might add. See if I can lift it, because now I don't have all that purple, and I do end up with a lot of peach. So, oops, I have little bits and pieces of sticker, again, all over the place. And all over me, mostly. And now I can place this one here, like so. And then I will fussy cut around the peachy one, and I'll fit it in that space on the left side of the page where there's room, where there's a little bit of an extra white space that I don't want. And I kind of wish there was some of that aqua. There was a little round-ish kind of daisy-like thing in that aqua tone. Oh, you know what? I can't put that there, but I can put it here. And look at that. It fits nicely. Yeah, I only have one aqua flower left. Let's see. Oops. Still trying to remove paper from my fingers. Yep, that's it. I have more flowers here, but again, no small aqua flowers to fill in that spot there, which is really seriously bugging me right now. I think we're going to have to let it be. That's okay. All right, let's keep going. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do before I cut that off and all that good stuff, I'm going to look in the boxes in the back of this book, and I'm going to use the functional boxes that go with this set. And I'm seeing peach and purple, but I'm not seeing that blue. I'm seeing a different shade of blue that's also in this book. This green is not bad, but it's too dark for the vibe that we have. So I think we're going to be stuck with the purples and the peach. So that, I'm going to start here in the middle. Not in the middle, but not in the left or on the right. Oh, these are a little bit bigger than these spaces. Interesting. All right, challenge accepted. I have to try to straighten that and put the overlap in such a way. Okay, that was unexpected. Well, you know what, folks? It just means that these boxes do not belong here because they just don't fit. I do have the Mojo Jojo boxes, so I'm going to use those instead to fill in the space. You stay there, please. And now Mojo Jojo, more pieces of sticker flying about. In the Mojo Jojo books, Pastel Boxes has this lilac, which is a pretty good one. So we're going to use, which color do I want to use? Or which size do I want to use? I think I want to use this size right here. The blue might be the tough one. So we're going to do that. And these I know for a fact fit here. Not a lot of room, which means I'm just going to have to write smaller. That's all. And then let me see if the blues, that color is actually pretty good. That color is very good. So we're going to put one of those. I don't seem to have a lot of them left. But we're going to use that. Yep, that works very nicely. And then this also has a peach color that works. Nope, this does not have a peach color that works. That's why I brought spring boxes. Whoops, spring boxes. And spring boxes has a peachy color that is pretty good. So we're going to use that. And use that here. And then we're going to repeat that sequence. Whoops, that's not even remotely close. Straight. Okay. I'm going to repeat that sequence on the other side since I have this book here. So we're going to repeat it here like so. And then back to the blue. Aqua, whatever color we're going to call this. I think this is aqua. More rightfully so. Like those beautiful, beautiful aquamarine stones, which I've only seen on pictures. I have never seen one in person. And then the lilac. And the lilac we liked. We're going to use that twice. I'm going to use two of them. I'm going to use one in the middle. Now, which I have to line up with this because now I'm lining up on this side of the page. And then one more. And that, I think I saw one extra on this page. Yep, I did. All right, so leave a line of 3 of them so I know that I have 3 left. I don't know why I'm being so precious about it because I have the set. I have series 1 through 5 of these colors. All right, so that feels pretty good in terms of color. We're going to add a box here. We're going to add a box here. So from pastel boxes, we're going to use that aqua color. And I'm going to use, as much as I don't love the dark lines, that's the one I'm going to use here. This is going to be for my fitness goals for the week. Okay. Lining it up with that, like so. And then also from this one, we're going to grab a purple box for the bottom, and I have no more of the square boxes, so I will use, oh no, I don't want a purple box. Wrong. I want a peachy box because I have purple right here. So I could do aqua too, but I think I want the peachy color. So for the peachy color, oh, I have a square, but I think I'm going to stick with the original thought, which was to use one of these. Okay. And I will use it this way because I'm going to put a title on it. All right, so there's that. Then I'm going to go back to this book and grab the last few decorative elements of that color scheme from that page. All right, so I have a little bit of everything, which is kind of nice, because then I can use this one. And I'm just cutting it flat because I can put the title inside the box, or I can just not use a title. That's also a possibility. So I like that there. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to rip it, which is what I just did. Not intentionally, of course. And I think I want that here. Like so. Do I want it there? I don't know if I want it there. I think what I want to do is I actually want to slice it in half and use part of it on the top and part of it in the bottom. And again, putting the title kind of, kind of floating. So I'm just going to fussy cut some of the paper on the top of the sticker so as to not to take up a ton of space. Not sure why, but so I don't know about you, but one of the things I'm doing in the next month or so is I'm going through all my planners and looking at the stickers that I've used this year for like the functional and some of the other elements. So of course not the sticker books. I'm not going to buy the sticker books again necessarily, but more like, for example, titles, right? I bought all my titles on white paper as opposed to clear, and I'm thinking I'd like to have those in clear for next year. So that's the kind of thing I'm going to start making a list of. Okay, these are the things that I want to buy before the end of the year to for my planning, because I didn't love it. I didn't love what I used this year, but I am trying to avoid buying certain kinds of things. I'm trying to limit myself. In a previous video I did for this week, I showed one of my Kelleval Plan books that I've had since 2021, and there's still enough of everything to basically do spreads for probably 3 or 4 more years at least. And so there's certain things like that where I'm like telling myself, no, I cannot buy seasonal sticker books because I have enough of them with enough stickers left to last me for 4 or 5 more years. So I fussy cut the bottom of that flower, and now I'm trying to line it up as again so that it kind of looks like the flower is interrupted by the box. So it's sliced in half by the box. So I like that very much. And then remember I mentioned this flower right here, and I'm going to use that flower. I could put something inspirational here, but I just want a flower. I think a flower makes me very happy and it works. So I'm going to put it here, and I have not split this page, so I think this is as good a time as any to split the page in half. So bear with me while I cut this. Now you can see how I've been using my planner. I haven't filled in. Today is Saturday, so I haven't filled in my data yet for today, but I do use this planner pretty well and pretty much every week. I love that. I love that. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I do. All right, so now I can take this page off, and once more time flip that. Oops. Flip that and cut the excess sticker from there. All right, I really like the way that looks. All right, I'm going to save that for now. And yeah, I like that. Okay, I am hell-bent on using that last sticker on that page. You know when you get so close to finishing a page and you're like, I gotta finish this page. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pull out that page because I'm convinced that I will finish it. And I'm going to take the sticker. Can I put two purple stickers next to each other and have them work? All right. Let me trim, trim, trim. And then the only things we have left that I'm going to do on camera, there's a little bit more I'm going to have to do off camera, because what I'd like to do, and this involves color matching, which is not my favorite thing to do, is I am going to look through my stash of highlighters, and I'm going to find highlighters that match the colors, the pale colors. And then what I'll do is, and I'll show you on the previous spread, you see these lines here? Those are stickers. I am going to recreate those with highlighting. I do have checklists in that book where the flowers came from, but they're kind of thick, and I don't want anything that thick, especially because it's going to get in the way of my writing. So instead, and yes, I know I did that in the previous one, and I'm making it work, but I don't want to this week. So I want to see if I can do it with highlighter, because then I can write over the highlighter if I need to. I end up usually not writing over it. It's kind of funny how that works out, but I want to have the option of being able to write in the whole width of the box. So I did fussy cut that one a little bit more than usual. Where do I want it? Do I want it here? I think I kind of want it there. Because again, I don't really need to worry too much about it. Look at that. It fit. It's fine. I don't care if it's another purple flower. And yes, I do. It's bothering me already, but I'm going to leave it be. All right, let's decoratively date this, because that's the next step. For that, I pulled the Rainbow Dated Sticker Book by Mojo Jojo Plants. Mine is very well loved. I've been using it ever since it came out. And there are paper dates in lilac. There are also, this is truly a rainbow. There's a pastel one as well, but my pastel one I think is very well worn, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's no peach in it, or if there is, it might be a little bit brighter. You know what? Let me just get up and grab it. Might as well just do that and see if there's something that I like better than the purple, because I'm thinking, oh my god, there's so much purple now on this spread. So let's see. There's the blue, the aqua. But do I have numbers in the aqua left? See, I've used this book a lot. I love this book. This color is darker than that, so I'm not crazy about that. If she came out with 15 more of these books in different like jewel tones and this and that, I would totally buy them. I have no chill about it, because I do use this quite a bit. See, this is the same as that. So the orange is not going to help me because the peach is too light. The blue has some promise. The lighter blue, there's the October there. But then I end up with October, and I'm just going to stick with what I was going to do. Let's just not fuss about it too much, because frankly, we're getting to the point where we got to finish this spread. So we're going to take the October from here. Okay, we're going to white out the one that's up here. Oops, something black just came with that white out. I wonder why. Probably from the bag where I'm keeping this. All right, let's put October there in a decorative matching color. And then let's I'm going to use the pen, I think, for the numbers, as much as I want to just white out everything. The pen does much better. I don't do it fast enough and well enough to cover all the days, so that's why I'm doing it that way. All right, and then I'm going to apply the days. These are the appropriate size. That's great. All right, so not applying it just yet. Let me grab my white pen and cover the numbers, so there's not a ton of extra. Oh my gosh, I can't do that one well enough. There we go. Extra whiteout sort of floating about. All right. Of all the spreads that I do every week, I would say that this is always the one that takes the longest because I want to fill, most of the time, I want to fill that box on the top, um, almost like a mosaic. Today I didn't cut nearly as much as I usually cut or nearly fuss with it as much as I usually fuss with it because I had these great big clusters of flowers that did most of the work. Last week's I recorded the video and it took me an hour to do the spread. Um, and that was mostly because trying to fit everything into the box. So usually it wouldn't take me nearly that much if I were just sort of slapping stickers here and there. And maybe when I go back to doing fitness stuff and putting like true fitness stuff, workouts and things like that, it will go back to not being, taking forever and a day to do it. All right, so let me find that page again, which now I've completely hidden. All right, that's not it. Oh no, that is it. Okay, so you know what? Let's take a page out. That's what I like to do. That's why my book is falling apart. Is because I've taken it apart. All right. Nope. I was taking off the sticker instead of getting the page. All right. So let's go with Monday. Hooey. All right. Monday. Yeah. I like that. Next year, I'm trying to think. I think all of my planners are undated for next year. So I'll be dating everything. I don't know if I'm going to decoratively date everything with like matching colors. I think I'm probably going to go with black. I have a few sticker books, mostly with black. But yeah, I will be dating everything. So stay tuned for the shenanigans if you want to see me date things poorly. So I'm going to make mistakes, I'm sure. I'm going to try not to, but I will make mistakes. And that's all. That's okay. That's all right with me. Friday, Saturday, and then that Sunday that we pulled off, which I just put on the side of the table while I was doing the rest. Okay, and then we're going to start with the 6th. See, that worked nicely. And there's not extra white out to cover up, so, or not a lot of it anyway. That's what we were trying to achieve. 7, 8. Oh my gosh, we still have, I completely skipped my functional stuff over here, but we're going to finish that too. That should be pretty quick and easy. So see here, I'd use a lot of that white out tape. You would be seeing a ton of extra stuff. You see a little bit extra, of course, because we're putting a skinny number where a thicker number was, but not as terrible as it could have been otherwise. 10, 11, and I do this on camera because I want you to see how long this takes. I, as much as I love watching videos, and you can fast forward me. I encourage you to fast forward me on these longer videos. But anyway, um, you know, it's, or people cut it out. They put the first one and they cut it out, which I think everybody has the right to do it the way they want to. For me, I want you to see how long it actually takes me because it's not, I want to be approachable to you. This shouldn't be an illusion. This should be like exactly the way it works. So, oh my gosh, I totally, totally dig all those flowers. So now we have our functional elements for health. So I use a couple of things. I use these sleep icons and water bottle icons from Proud Sticker Designs. That's Q1602 for the sleep icons and Q1501 for the water bottles. I am not an affiliate. I'm just a big fan who has found the stickers that she needs. I use icons from 2 companies. I use Proud Sticker Designs and Planner Kate. And generally, I don't duplicate. There's a few things I've duplicated between the 2. There's certain things that I love that Proud Sticker Design does, but there are other things that she does not offer. And that's why I have Planner Kate as my backup. So, and Planner Kate makes a gajillion different stickers. They're a very large company in the scheme of things. but I like their product, and I love the fact that they're movable without destroying the sticker or the page, and that's a big bonus for me. I move a lot of stickers. All right, there. I have just one more after this one. So this is going to get interesting because I'm going to be adding 2 more stickers to these little boxes. So this is why I was a little bit hesitant about that one. So I write down how many hours I sleep, as well as the sleep score that my Fitbit gives me, because I'm looking at overall trends for my numbers, trying to improve my sleep. Sleep is foundational to being able to do many things. And so I'm paying attention to that. I've had to adult myself into getting better sleep. I'm working on it, but okay. 3. And I'm keeping track of water. I don't get thirsty, which is weird. I eat fruit, I eat vegetables, but not enough, I don't think, to keep me hydrated well. But I also don't get thirsty, and I don't understand. But when I finally notice, usually my throat hurts, but I don't get to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm kind of thirsty. I just kind of go from I'm okay to, oh my God, my throat all of a sudden starts hurting. So it is a problem. Oh, I finished another sheet. Haha, yay, huzzah. I like that. That's not my line, so I'm going to stop saying it. I love it. All right, and then the last sticker I need is actually from Planner Kate, and it is these glucometers. And these are, for those of you who are interested, I'm going to try to use the ones with the colors, because the color ones, I don't think they come in color anymore. I think they only come in black and white. They're colors that match here. But this is BW156 from Planner Kate. And again, I am not an affiliate or anything. I just happen to be a fan. And she makes glucometers that are just about the right size. So here I have a little bit of a crunch. I'm going to put this on top of a flower. And then I'll just write small. I'll write tiny little number there. And I'll be okay. All right. So that one has a little bit of purple, and this one has a little bit of teal. So it is perfect for this space. Oh my gosh, and there's peach too. Huh. So I'm going to use the peach too. All the colors of this spread are represented in the colored in stickers. So purple again. Peach. I'm glad that these come in black and white, because most of the time these do not match my spreads. This is a happy accident, as they say. All right. Okay, and one more purple, if I can find it. Almost unnoticeable, but I can see it. That's why I'm fussy about it. All right, friends. So here we have it. Like I said, the only thing that's missing here is adding a little bit of color here to match these boxes to kind of wrap this thing up. But there we have it. Here is my fitness spread for the week of October 6th. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.